outside, by the way. So just in case you're prepared. Seriously, it's going to be outside unless something crazy happens. Just so you know.
What do you expect Carson Wentz to be able to do today? He be
Yeah, I mean, he's going to jump back into some team drills. Limited, obviously, still part of his rehab, but he's gonna jump into some 11-on-11 today.
How will be that for him as he tries meet his goal of playing in week 1?
Yeah, I mean it's big. It's big to begin to evaluate him and see where he's at and get him back in there with the guys and again, it's still a slow process, but at the same time it's exciting for him and for us to get him back out there.
What will be the limited aspect of it?
Number of reps, basically. He's not going to get the full complement of reps. We'll sprinkle him in each drill.
What did you learn during the reevaluation?
Quite a bit, actually. Just the overall his health, the strength of his knee, where he's at physically. His arm is live. He hasn't had all the reps, obviously, that a normal, like Nick has had, like Nate has had. So his arm is live, and he's fresh, and that's all the things that we wanted him, and where we kind of wanted him to be, at this stage.
Has there been improvement in the knee to the point where you are now comfortable putting him back in a less controlled environment?
Well, again, go back to beginning of camp and some of the things I had mentioned earlier. I mean, it's all part of what the doctors have said too. So they're the ones that evaluate the knee. I can't do that. My expertise only goes so far. But what I can tell you is his arm is live. He's moving around well, from the quarterback position, and he's excited to get out there today.
The doctors examined his knee.
Nick Foles' status?
Yes.
He's fine. Yeah, he's good.
No practice.
He will. Yeah, he will.
Did the doctors examine his knee after the Patriots game, and if so, what did they tell you?
They didn't. They did not. I mean, they're. I should say. I mean, they didn't specifically just examine. They examine him every day. It's not just one specific day, but they do examine him, and this is all part of the plan to get him back into some 11-on-11 drills now.
Do you have an update on Richard Rodgers?
Yeah, he's going to be week to week with his knee.
Will Foles be full today, or will he be limited also?
Well, basically, with he and Carson, just kind of, I'm going to give both of those guys about 50-50 today.
How's Pumphrey doing? Any chance of seeing him today or this week?
He's doing good. Probably not a chance this week, no.
So 50-50 with first-team reps with Carson.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to make sure he's with with the starters and with the guys that when he is finally okay to play, that he's still got the timing with the starters.
How difficult is it going to be over the next few weeks to split those reps, I guess, between Carson and Nick? Because it seems like you have to prepare them both.
Well, we're still in training camp, so we would normally, in the past, we would kind of do the same thing, with whether it was Carson Nick or Nick Carson, and so we're still evaluating, but this is all part of the process and the plan that we've established for Carson moving forward.
The fourth preseason game is typically for which one? The fourth preseason game is typically for reserves, and you start most of the starters. But if Carson were to be cleared for contact before then, would you even risk putting him out there on that?
Probably not. We're not there yet, obviously, and so we're just going to take it day by day right now.
Doug, you kind of mentioned last week about when Carson is cleared for contact, needing probably a full week of practice to be comfortable with putting him out there. Have you thought about that more? Is that the same kind of plan there?
I haven't thought much more about today, obviously, and getting him out there, and I'll cross that bridge when he's finally cleared for the actual play. But right now, we're just continue to evaluate him and sprinkle him in when we can.
Would you like to see guys like Jason Peters, Darren Sproles get into a game Thursday? And overall, how are they doing? I mean, it seems like
overall they're doing great. They're right on track, and both of them are healthy and doing a nice job. I don't necessarily need to see these two guys. These two guys have played a ton of games, and it's something, Sproles has really never, since I've been here, hasn't really played in a preseason game at all, and Jason's very limited, usually through camp. Try to get him, to the regular season, and then obviously keep him healthy for 16 games. So I'm not in any hurry to see these two guys right away.
I guess in this sense, they're both coming off, knee injuries. Would you like?
Listen, practices are as hard, if not harder, than games, and so we're seeing enough in practice to know that these two guys are ready to go.
Doug, I'm sure you guys are doing advanced work in front of week one. How do you go about that when you're not exactly sure who the quarterback's going to be, and they obviously they like different things? So how do you go about that?
How do I go about planning
for week one, not knowing who the quarterback's going to be when they like different things about the system?
When we look at our schedule and look at who we're playing early in the season, we look at scheme defensively, from an offensive perspective, and conceptually what we feel are going to be plays that we can execute. I don't worry about the quarterback position as much at this time, as much as just understanding the defense and that we're going to see.
Is there any benefit to the opponent not knowing
I think so, but again, it's not, it's not Kevin Cobb and Nick Foles or Mike Vick. You know what I mean? So in this case, I think it's very similar, but at the same time, I think it doesn't hurt to, not to put it out there who's going to start right away.
What's the status on Jalen Mills, Nelson Aguilar, and Corey Fleming?
Corey and Nelson are both, sort of day to day. We'll do more next week with both of them. And who was the third one?
Jalen Mills.
Oh, Jalen Mills. Jalen's going to do a little bit today. Yeah, more individual stuff, but just keep him out of the 11-on-11.
What did you make of
to watch Nate take a lot of reps? Can you talk about what you've seen in terms of growth, progress?
He's really taken some big strides forward. This has been great for him this offseason, this training camp. He's got a ton of reps, obviously, with the offense, and he's got a lot of playing time, with this offense, and especially this last week. And he's done some really good things. I thought last week he really settled into the football game against their ones, on defense for about a series or so, and did some nice things. You got to understand. I got to realize too that this is really his first time, so he's almost like a rookie playing, and so we're still working through progressions and reads and decision making and all the things that come with young quarterbacks. But he's very mature. He understands exactly our offense and what we're trying to get done, and each week there are some nice gains in his performance.
Doug, in the 2.5 weeks since we saw Carson take an 11-on-11, I think July 28th was the last day. I know he's been frustrated. Zach tells me all this stuff. He's got it all memorized.
I'm sure he does.
But
he's prepared for outside too.
How do you balance? We know how much he's wanted to do all that full team stuff. I'm sure he's come up to you a lot. How do you balance kind of, feeling what's best for him and really taking his wishes into?
I'd tell you the biggest thing is just communicating with him and just saying, hey, here's the plan, and this is the way it is, and this is what we're sticking to, and there really hasn't been that conversation, and he understands that. And if I were in his shoes, I'd probably want to be out there too. But this is obviously for his health and benefit, and the his progress and the longevity of his career, and so the biggest thing for me was just being honest and communicate with him up front.
What did you make of Big V's game Thursday night?
What did I make of it?
When you went to film, what did you see?
It wasn't Big V for whatever reason. He's definitely played better. We know exactly who he is. He's hard on himself like anybody is, and there's some things he would want back, obviously, but at the same time, he understands, what he needs to do to continue to get better and improve. And now he's still a young player, but a player that's played a lot of football. He knows exactly what he needs to do to not only fix that, but to be in a position, because who knows, he might be called upon again this season, and we'll need him again, but. Overall, though, for training camp, he has done a really nice job for us, and continues to improve.
With Alshon, Nelson, and Mack all out, what have you seen from the other wide receivers further down the depth chart?
Yeah, well, it was good to see Mike Wallace back out there last week, and keep him coming. I thought, even some of the younger guys, Rashard Davis, DeAndre Carter, both had a lot of plays, in this last game, and I thought did a nice job. They're still learning and understanding defense and leverage and coverage and all kinds of things, and they're getting better each and every week, and this is a great opportunity for them right now this time of camp.
But between now and the end of the end of the preseason with the helmet rule, you'll see at least a video or something like that.
I don't think there's going to be any kind of adjustments with it. From our standpoint, we just got to continue to educate our players and show them some of these calls, and just keep talking to them. I don't think there's going to be anything, that's it's going to change in the next couple of weeks, and something we're going to have to deal with. Thanks, guys.